So welcome back to another career mode video. Today we have a fun video to make because we are talking about FIFA history once again. This time we're going to be looking at career mode features that changed over the years. So we're going to take a look at the evolution of some of career mode's biggest features and we'll see how they've developed over time. Have they got better? Have they got worse? We're going to be taking a look at everything in this short series, so I hope you do enjoy. If you do enjoy today's video, please leave a like for me because it always helps when you leave a like. And if you are new to the channel and you want to know all the latest FIFA 20 news, updates and career mode content, make sure you subscribe today. You won't regret it. So let's take a look at the transfer negotiation menu. So this is around FIFA 08 time. Pretty basic menu here. You've got your conditions, so you can change the status to maybe buy or loan, and then you got a transfer fee which you probably put in through the number system. And then you got the salary per game through the number system that you can change. And you got the contract length, you can adjust that. Number of bids, I'm not sure what that is. Maybe you're allowed to have like 2 or 3 bids for the same player in the same transfer window. I don't really know. And then there's a goal bonus, which is pretty basic stuff. We're pretty used to that kind of thing. And then on the right, you've got some personal information for the player, his market fee and his salary at the moment. And you've got some attributes underneath. So pretty basic menu. This was around FIFA 08, so you're not expecting too much here. But it did the job at the time. Now this system was pretty much in career mode until about FIFA 18, where they changed it. And we'll talk about what they did soon. But before that, there was also this presentation. So it's basically the same concept, just in a nicer looking layout. You know, this is like a contract book, you know, whatever you want to call it. It's got a pen in the middle. They just basically changed the design to make it look a bit more presentable. But it's pretty much the same system as FIFA 08. So it didn't really change much even over 10 years. You've got your buy and your loan buttons here. So depending on what you want to do, you can adjust that. And then for the buy one, you've got a transfer sum, which you can change with the number system. And then you've got the ability to also exchange a player. So that must have been a new thing that they added in over time as well compared to FIFA 08. So you could throw in a player if you wanted to, and then you could submit your offer right there. If you wanted to loan a player, you could adjust their bonus per goal, also the loan length and the future fee, which is a feature that they did take out as well in the newer games. So this one was also pretty useful for loan deals, and then you could submit your offer. On the left, you have a player bio, his age, his value. He's got his current contract information there as well. And then you've got something that wasn't in the FIFA 08 one, Chief Executive Comments. So this basically gives you like a status report on the player. And this one says Vardy has several years remaining on his contract and is one of the best in his position. He's probably going for a sum between 17.1 and 19.8 million at this point. So the chief would always help you in terms of giving you a figure to play with when you wanted to make an offer, which was pretty handy. So eventually from FIFA 18 onwards, the transfer negotiation menu did evolve into this. It's all in the transfer hub, so you have to go to the transfer hub to do any deals. And we've got the attributes here for the player. You can check before you go in to sign him. If you press the actions button, it'll change to give you some comments about the player. It's not really, well, it's sort of like the chief executive comments, but there's less sentences. It just says we might have to offer between this and this to have a chance. It's still handy. It gives you like a figure to play with. And then you've got the value, the weekly wage, and all that kind of stuff for the player. If you're interested, you can either approach to buy there or loan, and you can also delegate to buy and delegate to loan as well. So it's pretty much the same sort of features, just in a different layout. But the main difference here that changed it up completely was the fact that now it does have cutscenes. Before it was just a contract book where, you know, you saw it, you couldn't do much. It was just basically change the numbers and submit the offer. Now you have the managers meeting with each other. A few subtitles here and there. No one actually talks. It's just subtitles, as you guys know. And then you can skip some scenes, you know, and offer some swaps or a transfer fee if you're looking to buy the player. So obviously over 10, 15 years, the presentation improved a lot. And I presume it's going to get better, but there needs to be more options here when you go to transfer players and loan players in. They can definitely add a few more settings here, but you can see the big difference. We've gone from just a standard screen to an actual cutscene now, and there is further potential for this to get better as well. So before the squad hub was a thing, there was also a thing called the squad report. This was around before FIFA 18, and you can also check basically the stats of each of your players in the club. You can also see the attributes go up and down as the season goes along. And some people like this one because it is much cleaner. It's a little bit more responsive as well. Career mode menus these days are a little bit laggy, but yeah, it pretty much does the same thing before the squad hub was a thing. And you could also check how the players grew in their overalls, their values, their form, and their morale. And that's basically it. Pretty simple design. And as the competition goes on, the stats update, so you can see the goals, assists, clean sheets, appearances, and average rating as well. If you pressed R3, you could also see the player bio, which let you see more player stats, and you could also see their age and all that kind of stuff. And then you could also compare by flicking the R thing, and you converse each player. Player actions was also available here, so if you pressed X on any of the players, you could actually open up more settings. So you could offer a new contract, disallow transfer bids from other teams, add to the transfer list, add to the loan list for 2 years, add to the 1-year loan list, add to the loan list for short loan, and release from the contract. So in FIFA 20 and the last few career modes, the squad report tile has disappeared. They've got rid of it, but you can still access its features in the squad hub. I think it basically does the same thing. It's just a little bit more expanded. And as you can see, we've got a few columns now which basically display the same sort of information. And you can go down your list, check the status of all your players, their morale, if they're happy or not, injuries and squad roles and all that kind of stuff. If you go to the stats, you can also check like the season progress, how many goals they've scored, assists and all that kind of stuff. We had this in the squad report feature as well. And then you've got the attributes section where you can flick through and check all the stats of all your players, which ones are developing, which ones are not growing at all. And then you've got the financial section as well, which just basically displays all the information that you need to know about the financials of each player. There's also the actions button where you can do transfer options, squad options, and contract options. So it is pretty much the same thing as the squad report, but it is a bit more expanded. But some people prefer the squad report because it is a bit more cleaner. A lot more information is displayed on the one page. You don't have to flick through different columns to see financials, attributes. Everything seems to be pretty much there. But essentially, these two things are very, very similar. I think most people would prefer the squad hub though. So let's talk about the evolution of managing player contracts. So in FIFA 08, it was a pretty basic menu as always. You know, this one just had contract alerts, and it would alert you if any contracts were about to expire. So you could just cater to the ones that were the most important and fix them up before they actually expired. It was a basic menu at the time. Can't really expect too much. By the time we hit FIFA 17, there was a contracts tile, which basically let you just focus on player contracts and renew the ones that needed to be renewed. You could take a look at all your players in this list as well. This avoids you going through the squad hub, you know, all those laggy menus, trying to find the right menu for managing contracts. This just puts everything in the same place, and you can do multiple players, you know, very, very quickly compared to what we've got now. It works similar to the current version. You can adjust the wages from the smallest to the biggest. You can also adjust the contract lengths to see who's going to be the closest to expiry or who's got the longest contract. And there's also status there on the right. Now, if you click any of the players, let's get to one of these guys here. If you click on any of them, it'll come up with this pretty basic menu design. There's no negotiations, scenes, and all that kind of stuff here. It's just basically adjusting the numbers. You can add additional years. So I don't think this replaces the years like it does in FIFA 20 or FIFA 19, 18. This actually builds on top of what you've got now. So if you've got 3 years currently, you can boost it up another 3 years and get 6 years out of it. And of course, you have to adjust the salary as well. You can also adjust the bonus per goal, and also the squad role. You can offer that one as well now. On the right, you just have some stuff about his current deal, his appearances, his previous salary, his bonuses, and his squad role, and his market value as well. So pretty basic layout, but like I said before, it does the job. Now, managing contracts changed in FIFA 18 with the squad hub. It's also carried over to FIFA 20. So this is the current version of the feature. And to change contracts, you just go to the squad hub. You can see the status of the players' contracts in the financial section. You can see how long there is on the contracts. So let's say we've got a player here like Matic about to expire, 8 months to go. You can go to contract negotiation. You can delegate renewal, or you can release the player. But delegate basically does it for you. You don't have to worry about going into the cutscenes. But the main evolution here is, of course, the cutscenes that they added in from FIFA 18 onwards. So before that, you didn't get any cutscenes. And when you click on it, you can actually see the player walk into your office. You guys know how it works by now. And you can discuss with their agent their contracts. So it's a pretty cool feature, but you know, they could probably change a few presentations. I get sick of seeing the same office settings and stuff. So I hope they add more variety soon. But it's not too bad. It's a pretty good evolution here. So next up, I want to talk about the evolution of the request funds feature. And I think you guys know where I'm going to go with this one. The request funds feature was a fantastic feature. It's a tile that you click on, and it lets you request more money from the board if you need it during the transfer window. So we click on it here. I can put an amount here. You can't ask for like 100 million, but 10 million you can. And basically, it's like a promise to the board saying you're going to win the league title, win the cup if you get this kind of money. Now, based on your current performance and how long you've been at the club, the board will consider that, and you might get the money. Sometimes you will get rejected, but it was a useful feature to have. There's many times in career mode, especially with the lower clubs that don't have enough money, where you find yourself strapped for cash, and that extra 10 million can help you sign another player on deadline day or just in the transfer window in general. And sometimes you do need that money to free up wages as well. And this feature did indeed evolve into the bin because it didn't come back after FIFA 16. It's been missing since FIFA 16. FIFA 17 didn't have it for some reason, and then FIFA 18, 19 and 20 didn't have it as well. So it did evolve. It went from in the game as a useful feature to the removed pile. So well done, EA. If you want to watch another FIFA 20 video, hit the card in the middle. It'll take you right there. I'll see you next time.